Did you just want me to have to struggle with Massachusetts again?
No,
Is that why you chose Concord out of this list?
It's Concord. Concord.
Concord.
You can't say either word, can you?
Meow.
M. Gesson is known for writing about totalitarianism, terrorism, and the erosion of human rights.
But they also have a least favorite cousin, Alan.
And Alan did some real bad stuff.
We're jumping in the time machine to prep for the idiot.
That's on this episode of So Much Crime,
So Little Time.
Welcome to So Much Crime, So Little Time. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Dee, and we're getting ready to listen to The Idiot from Serial Productions.
In this episode, we're not going to discuss the series at all. We're going to do that in our next episode.
Right now, though, let's see who knows more about the time, the place, and whatever other random trivia we have related to the story.
All right, Dee, let's hop in the time machine. Okay, so Dee, so this story takes place over a bunch of time and in a bunch of places, but the arrest at the beginning of this is in July of 2022. One of the places is Concord, Massachusetts, but it also we hear about Cape Cod, Russia, Montreal, New York City, all these things. It's about a hitman.
Did you just want me to have to struggle with Massachusetts again?
No,
is that why you chose Concord out of this list?
It's Concord. Concord.
Concord.
You can't say either word, can you?
Meow.
No, the Concorde was a plane that flew very fast. Concord.
That's spelled C-O-N-C-O-R-D.
I think it actually has an E on the end. Concord is a city in Massachusetts, much like Worcester. Drake it. Do you want me to keep going? Haverhill?
God, the Concorde did have an E at the end. I'm very annoyed about that. I was going to be really smug when you were wrong. Concord.
That was right. Do you want to go first?
Concord?
Go first? Concord. You got it. Yeah. Massachusetts.
Okay.
Massachusetts.
No, Concord. We'll stop there. Too many S's, too many A's. Okay. So I have some trivia around this story. It's not given too much away. We hear about it in the first episode. Part of this story centers around hitmen. And so I thought what I would do is do kind of some trivia around true, verified stories of hitmen from around the globe.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, I've got 4 stories for you, Jeff. I'm going to give you a little intro, and then there's going to be a trivia question that you're going to have to guess. Okay?
Okay.
The first one is called The Corporate Ladder of Crime. In 2019, a businessman in Nanning, China, decided that a professional rival simply had to go. He didn't want to get his hands dirty, so he withdrew $282,000 in cash and hired a professional hitman to handle the job. But instead of a clean hit, he accidentally triggered the world's most incompetent game of telephone.
That's not good.
Okay, so he outsourced the job. My question for you is, by the time the job was actually supposed to happen, what had the original hitman done with the money and the contract?
Wait, it was a game of telephone?
Yeah, so he outsourced it.
So the hitman outsourced it?
Yeah, he outsources it. He outsources the hit. And I want you to tell me how much the eventual outsourcing cost. Like, what was the payment?
I feel like I read about this story once. I'm going to say $1,000. Oh,
no. Okay. I'm going to tell you. Hitman 1 took the money, capped half, and hired Hitman 2. Hitman 2 kept a cut and hired Hitman 3. Hitman 3 kept a cut and hired Hitman 4. And Hitman 4 kept a cut and hired Hitman 5. By the time it reached the final guy, the budget was only $14,000. But that hitman realized it wasn't worth the prison time. The 5th hitman met the target at a coffee shop told him there was a hit for his life, and suggested they fake his death for a photo. The target agreed, then immediately went to the police. All 6 men, the businessman and the 5 hitmen, were sent to prison.
Wow. They got them all?
Mm-hmm.
That's a wild
Isn't
story.
that wild? Yeah. Okay. Hitman story number 2. The condiment crime scene. This is an easy one. In 2011, a Brazilian woman named Maria was consumed by jealousy. She was convinced a woman was having an affair with her husband. Maria reached out to a local ex-con and paid him $450 to eliminate the problem. The hitman agreed, but when he actually saw the target, he had a change of heart. Why did the hitman have a change of heart when he saw the target?
Wait, I'm sorry. A woman thought...
Her husband was having an affair.
Yeah, and she hired a hitman.
To kill the woman.
And then the hitman fell in love with the woman.
Well, yeah, that is the answer to my question. He did. He fell in love with the woman. So instead of killing her, the hitman and the target teamed up to trick Maria. So they used bottles of ketchup and they smeared it all over the victim, the hit, placed a machete in her armpit to look like a wound, and sent a photo to Maria. So she believed she was dead and this had happened until 3 days later, she spotted the dead woman kissing the hitman at a local street market.
Imagine coming across that. Hey, isn't that the woman having an affair with my husband and the hitman I hired to kill her?
Well, no, isn't that the dead woman? The woman that I got killed, who's supposed to be having an affair with my husband. But yeah, amazing. Okay.
Okay.
This one made me laugh so much. Okay. The privacy policy of death. If you wanted to hire a hitman in the 90s, you had to find a smoky back room. But today, people think they can just Google it. And that's how many people end up on rentahitman.com.
No,
the site
real dumb.
Features fake testimonials, a service request form, and even claims to be compliant with the with HIPAA, which is the Hitman Information Privacy and Accountability Act.
Amazing. I love that. I love that for them.
Okay. Despite the site being a total parody, apparently run by an IT guy in California, how many people have actually been arrested or charged after filling out the Contact Us form to request a murder?
I mean, it should be 0, but I know it's not. It's not 0.
It's not a huge number, but it's so questionable. Oh,
You want me to just guess a number?
Guess a number.
72.
Okay, not 72. It's apparently the number of lives that were requested. So it doesn't say how many submissions, but it's the number of lives that people had requested to be taken by the hitman.
Sure.
So obviously if they hired a hitman for like 2 people, yeah, it's 1. You know what I mean? Over 150 lives have been saved because people are tech illiterate. This is what this is saying. Enough to give their real names, addresses, and GPS coordinates to a public website to request a felony. The owner, whose name is Bob Inez, simply waits 24 hours to make sure they aren't joking, then forwards the data to the police.
Wait, what does 24 hours do?
They have a cooling off period.
Oh, of course they do. Wow, this is well thought out.
He wants to make sure that like nobody are like, there's no one that's like joking, like that knows it's a joke.
Okay. So people's belief in their own anonymity, they're giving their names, their real names.
I just like,
come on.
rentahitman.com. I don't think that's how they work.
But what if it was?
It might even be called like hire a man. Or like, I don't know. Like, it's not going to be like hitman.com. It's so stupid.
So stupid. Oh, people.
Okay.
Be better.
The last one. A UK businessman decided he wanted his wife out of the picture. He did everything right for a criminal. He found a local thug, handed over a spare key to his house, and even gave him the 4-digit security code to the alarm so the hitman could sneak in while his wife was home alone.
Sure.
The hitman successfully used the key and the alarm code, which apparently was 1234, but who knows, down to the house. So he enters the house. The next morning, the wife, who's supposed to be murdered, goes downstairs. What does she find the hitman doing?
Oh. Well, I've heard stories like this. I don't know if this is the right story. There was definitely a story where there was a hitman who was like reading a book.
Okay. This guy was fast asleep on the couch. The hitman apparently had decided that he could drink a bottle of wine, got drowsy and decided to take a nap in the middle of the crime scene. She walked in, saw a stranger passed out with an empty bottle of Merlot and called the police.
Sure.
I will say, as someone who lives in a house, that I often think, I mean, if someone came in to rob it, like, there's nothing here. Like, there is nothing in our house.
Good to know. Duly noted.
Nothing worth stealing. I find it kind of funny that the hitman went into the house. Like, apparently he's a local thug. And there's nothing in the house that he thinks he wants to take more than a bottle of wine.
What if it was a really good bottle of wine?
Well, in fact, it makes me think I should warn a friend of mine who has a lot of wine in her house that maybe it might be it might be something that people are attracted to going in and stealing. I think it's worth stealing.
I mean,
what a hangover, though.
That's a real bummer. There definitely was another story like that where it wasn't a hitman, it was a thief who got caught up reading a book that they found and was just still there like the next day reading the book. But yeah, that happened. That was amazing. Thank you for that.
They are all my stories from around the world.
All right. I have some music trivia for you. You want some music trivia?
Go for it.
Okay. So the arrest in this story took place in July of 2022. I looked up what were the number one songs in July of 2022 in both the U.S. and Ireland. Were you in the U.S. by 2022, Summer?
Yep.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, that song we already covered. It was a Harry Styles song called As It Was. We've done it before on the show. But in Ireland, a different song was number one for the entire month of July. All 4 or 5 weeks, however many weeks there are in July. I'm going to ask you about that song. Okay. I almost just read on my notes the name of the song and the artist. That's the whole point of the game. Let me give you some facts about the song, and then I have some lyrics. You definitely know this song, first of all. I am pretty sure. It's an English singer-songwriter. This is the lead single from this person's 5th album. It is considered their signature song, and it is often on lists of the best songs ever made. In 2022, it went number one in 8 countries, including Ireland. And then I have the lyrics. This is all I have. I have the lyrics. Do you want to hear the lyrics? Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to start from the beginning.
Can I tell you the 3 people I'm thinking of right now?
Sure.
Actually 2. Lewis Capaldi and Sam Smith are coming to mind.
Okay. Those are guesses. They are wrong.
They are guesses.
Here it goes.
They're wrong. Okay.
It doesn't hurt me. Do you want to know how it feels? Do you want to know? Know that it doesn't hurt me. Do you want to hear about the deal that I'm making? It's you and me. And if I only could, I'd make a deal with God. And I'd get him to swap our places.
Hold on.
Good, because that gets into the title. I can give you other clues if you're confused.
No, I don't have it. I know it, but I don't have it.
Hit number one in 8 countries in the summer of 2022, but the song is not from 2022. It is much older.
Oh, this is from a show?
It is from a TV show, yes.
This is from Stranger Things. This is Kate Bush.
It is Kate Bush. What's the name of the song?
Running up that hill.
Running up that hill. Running up that hill.
That is such a tune.
Such a tune. Okay. I have one trivia question about the song.
Such a tune.
So if you watch Stranger Things season, 4 and 5, you heard this song 1,000 times? Many times. And And yeah, it went number one. It was number one in Ireland for like 5 weeks. So Kate Bush originally called the song something much more controversial than Running Up That Hill. But a record label, EMI, forced her to change it because they thought that it would be blacklisted in religious countries like Italy, France, and Australia. What was the original title? And I have choices if you want. Or do you know?
I'm trying to think of like the tune of it to think about what it could be. Running Up the Hill. I suppose the name could be different though, and it might not be in that part of the song. Oh.
Did I now put that song stuck in your head?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I still love it. Tell me, I don't know. Give me choices.
Right. A, The Devil's Bargain. B, Ascension. C, Heaven's Ladder. Or D, A Deal with God.
I mean, A Deal with God makes most sense because it's in the lyrics, but that feels too easy. Your face is giving nothing away. A Deal with God. Is it correct?
That is correct. Deal with God. And you're right. That's in the lyrics. It's that was the original title of the song, but they thought that would get her black. Imagine that. A Deal with God is a controversial.
Well, it's funny because what I was thinking at the start before I was thinking about the time of the song coming out was not that. So.
What were you thinking?
Well, it was more like a risque kind of title as opposed to like making a deal with God. But anyway.
Well, I have one more bit of trivia. So this podcast is called The Idiot, and I realized when I listened to the first episode, when I got to the end of the first episode, it is, they have a theme song. Did you recognize the theme song?
No.
It is Bob Dylan. It's a song called Idiot Wind.
I didn't recognize it. I recognized the voice and then it was noted.
Yeah. So Idiot Wind is a great Bob Dylan song off his album Blood in the Tracks. I have a couple of quick Bob Dylan trivia questions for you.
Are you a Bob Dylan fan?
You know, there are a handful of Dylan albums that I love, but he's had so many albums and he's been around for so long that I feel like to say that like implies something that I'm not. Are you a Dylan fan?
Paul is.
Okay.
Kind of, I'd say sporadic. He's gone to see him a few times.
I've never seen him live.
Yeah, no, he's seen him twice or 3 times maybe. I know he said before he's like a real, you can go and it can be great or you can go and it can be awful. There's like no in between.
He's known for that. Yeah, he puts on some real weird shows. He's not known for being particularly like personable.
No, he's not like taking over the stage or anything.
And sometimes he'll play he'll do songs and you won't even recognize that they're some of his big hits because he changes the arrangements of them a lot. I've heard that. Anyway, I have a couple of trivia questions about Bob Dylan and about the song. First one. Okay. So you don't know anything about Blood on the Tracks and Idiot Wind? Okay. Idiot Wind. So this whole album, he was going through a dark period. He was separating from his wife at the time. And Idiot Wind is maybe about her, although he says it's not. In the scathing 4th verse of Idiot Wind, he vividly describes the aftermath of a betrayal. And he sings, quote, "One day you'll be in the ditch. Blank buzzing around your eyes. Blood on your saddle." Which animal, does he say, is buzzing around your eyes? A, flies. B, vultures. C, locusts. Or D, hornets.
I mean, I would think flies because buzzing around your eyes. But then when you said vultures, I was like, is there a vulture called a buzzard? Vulture.
It was flies. Go with your first instinct. You were right. Yeah. Yeah. Also, one day you'll be in the ditch, flies buzzing around your eyes, blood in your saddle. Real bleak. This is a real bleak song. Okay, let's move off the song. A couple other trivia questions about him. Bob Dylan was originally signed to Columbia Records when he was very young, despite his voice, which many people are critical of. A vice president of Columbia Records described his voice how? A, the most horrible thing I've ever heard in my life. B, like a man trying to sing while passing a gallstone. C, like a coyote with his leg caught in a brand new picket fence.
Jesus Christ.
Or D, like an angel an angel of death?
I feel like someone in that position would be like trying to be creative and smart with their words. So the angel with like angel of death feels like very like a dramatic description to announce to a room when you're in that position. So I'm going to go with angel with the of death.
Makes me very happy that you picked that one because of these, one of them is true, two of them Gemini wrote, and one of them I wrote, and I wrote the angel of death one.
Oh, did you? That's amazing. Okay, so my other option is, what was number 2?
2 was like a man trying to sing while passing a gallstone.
Yeah, I think that one.
See, I really like that one, but Gemini wrote that one.
Okay, so it's going to be the first one.
The first one, yes, the most horrible thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay. Now I have an Irish. That is correct. I have an Irish question for you.
Okay.
Bob Dylan.
I'm Irish.
Once ate dinner with Van Morrison, Elvis Costello, and Glenn Hansard. Do you know Glenn Hansard? I had to look him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Irish.
All right. So those 4 people had dinner together once.
Okay.
What was unusual about their dinner together?
Sounds like a real Paddy English one, Paddy Irish one, Paddy Scots one walk into a bar. Have I ever told you those jokes? Do you know of those jokes?
No.
Oh my God, there's like a whole trope of jokes that are like Paddy Englishman, Paddy Irishman, and Paddy Scotsman walk in. They're doing something. There's a whole array of them. It's like a knock joke, like that style of joke.
Should we just do that the rest of this episode?
Maybe. I think I need to bring you some
okay.
Paddy Englishman, Paddy Irishman, Paddy Scotsman jokes. Okay. I'm going to put that on the list of things to tell you about because that's hilarious that you have never heard them before.
Let's do a whole episode on that. Okay, so Van Morrison, Glenn Hansard, and Elvis Costello are at dinner with Bob Dylan. What's unusual about their dinner together? I have 4 choices.
Okay, I'm going to put out one option. They're all in the nip. Second option is they don't speak to each other. Third option is they only sing to each other. Are any of those
One of those
correct?
Is the right answer.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. You got it. Which one do you think it is? That's amazing, by the way.
They only sing to each other. No, they don't say anything to each other. It's like a silent dinner.
The whole meal was silent. No one said a word.
Stop the lights. Really? Was I right? That is so random.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's impressive. Okay.
What was the point of the dinner if no one wanted to speak to each other?
I don't know, but next to it, when I was reading about it, there was a thing about when Dylan came to the White House and sang for the Obamas. And Barack Obama told the story about how Dylan refused to do like a rehearsal, basically showed up last minute, played like Blown in the Wind, like played a couple of his like big songs, played them perfectly. It was great. After the song, he came up, he like shook Obama's hand, refused to take a picture and left. And Obama was like, it's really what you want from him. Like, you don't want him to like
be nice and friendly.
Yeah, like he was totally on brand.
Like it seems like he just is, and that's it.
Okay, I have one more question. Last question. Bob Dylan once covered. Okay, so first of all, Bob Dylan is famous for other people covering his songs. But I'm going to ask you about him covering someone else's song. Which of these songs did he cover? So he's covered a lot of songs, but 3 of these I'm pretty sure he never covered. A, you're thinking. You're already thinking. I haven't even told you the choices. Okay.
I think I know this.
He's covered hundreds of songs.
Oh, okay.
You need to hear me say the choices. What's in your head?
I don't know. I thought your point was he hasn't covered that many. And he's covered a song. And I was like, oh, I remember being like, this is not his song. And Paul
I was actually trying
he covered it. So
I was trying to fact check this. And I found this site. Someone made this website where they have hundreds of songs he covered, but it only goes songs that start from A to D. And it didn't go past.
They're like, fuck this, I'm over it.
Yeah. And I was trying to figure out it was like a bad site design. I couldn't get past D. So anyway, all right, here are your choices. A, LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out. B, Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. C, Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping. Or D, The Cranberries' Zombie.
Oh. I feel like you added in the Cranberry Zombie to throw me off. I don't think it's going to be Aerosmith. I don't know the Chumbawamba song, but I really enjoy saying that.
You do. You do know that song. We've talked about that song on this podcast, and you definitely know
Is that
song.
the I get knocked down, but I get up again? Oh,
Mhm.
sorry. What's it called?
Tub thumping. They never say tub thumping, I don't think, on the song.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that's
we
what
have.
it's called.
Okay, he definitely hasn't covered that. And then the first one is LL Cool J's. Say it again? No, Mama said I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah.
That's
One
hard.
of these is true.
I'm going to say Dreams because it's such a tune.
I didn't say Dreams, I said Zombie.
I'm going to say Zombie because it's such a tune.
Can I say as a side note that the pool hall that we play in, that's our home location, plays this like, I don't know, like techno dance mix versions of pop songs. And one of the songs they play is Zombie by the Cranberries. And that song remixed as like a dance club mix is so weird. Anyway, that's not right. It was LL Cool J. Mama said knock you out.
Wow.
Yeah, he did it on
version.
his radio show. Okay, those were my trivia questions. That was our time machine.
That was great. Love that. All right, we have Jeff. We have a shout out to do to a new Patreon member. Daniel, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hope you're enjoying all that you get with Patreon. And for those of you who are thinking, oh my goodness, Daniel's getting something and I'm not, please go to patreon.com/so much crime, so little time. Remove that FOMO from your life. Support a tiny show like ours and get extra time machines and all this other bonus content. Thanks.
All right, let's talk about The Idiot. So this came out in March of 2026, very recently. Our host is
recent, yeah. We're
M.
on
Gesson. M. Gesson is one of those people who I guess is sort of famous, but I was not aware of them. They are a New York Times reporter and writer. They use the they, them pronouns. That's why I'm saying they, them. So I looked up a little bit about M. Gesson, and they had a couple of interesting sounding books. So a couple of their books that they've written. So they've written a bunch of articles, but they wrote a book called The Man Without a Face, The Unlikely Rise of Vladimir Putin. They wrote one called Words Will Break Cement, The Passion of Pussy Riot, and one called The Brothers, The Road to an American Tragedy, about the two brothers who committed the Boston Marathon bombing. Yeah, all of those books sound interesting. There are 5 episodes to this podcast, so and they really weird range of times. Only 5 episodes, but like the first episode I think is like 20 minutes, but then there's episodes like an hour long.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to intro it, you know? Right, so the story is basically, for decades, M has simply disliked their cousin Alan. They saw him kind of like as a fool, a pompous international businessman who was always going about bragging about these ridiculously shady deals he had done and driving fancy cars and just being obnoxious. But when Alan is arrested for trying to put a hit on his ex-wife, who he shares 2 kids with, and the Gesson family just can't even comprehend what's going on. It's just a bizarre story. But from M's perspective, this idiotic cousin, he's just an idiot. He's not a would-be murderer. Or maybe he is. So yeah, that's where we're at here. Jeff, you kind of told me that Serial were putting this out.
Yeah.
But it was more of a like, hey, heads up, this is happening. What do you think? And just as I was reading the description, I was like, I mean, this has to be good. Like, it just sounds so bonkers. I don't know. I haven't loved all of Serial's productions, like all of their podcasts, but this just sounded really interesting.
Yeah. This is a weird sort of like patchwork quilt of elements that I feel like might work for us. It might be terrible, but might work for us because it's like, so it's Serial, which originally sprung off of This American Life, which we love. And This American Life when this came out, did an episode that sort of like combined like the first couple of episodes, I think. I started listening to it and then I was like, no, wait, I'm going to stop. And
I haven't listened to it yet on purpose. Yeah.
But like Ira Glass comes in and talks to M. Gesson and then they sort of introduce it. And so you get to hear Ira Glass kind of commenting on it. And then I also read the New York Times, and this, like, the New York Times, which is a producer on Serial Productions. Like, I don't really understand how this works. Like, Serial Productions came from This American Life, but the New York Times also has some role in it. But I'm guessing works for the New York Times. Doesn't really matter. But it kind of hit a bunch of places that I pay attention to. But even if none of that was true, it's a story about this family of, like, Russian immigrants in the U.S., many of whom live in, like, the greater Boston area. And the story of, like, an idiot hiring a hitman to kill his wife.
Yeah, I think like that's kind of my draw to this. Is it sounds like, well, first of all, it's a would-be murderer. So, okay, great. Are we saying there's no murder here? There's too much violence happening in the world these days.
Sure.
Like, there's no murder here. Like, that's great.
I don't think there's murder here. Is there murder here?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I know the site that we lifted some of the, like, copy from to figure out what the podcast is about. Says not a would-be murderer. So I'm presuming there's no murder here. But I think what I'm trying to say is it's the family dynamic. Like, there's so many elements to this that I think is intriguing. Like, this idea of this family dynamic. I feel like we could all close our eyes, or not keep them open, and picture a person who, maybe not in your family, definitely not in my family, but who could tick all the boxes that is described, that M uses to describe Alan. And I feel like that's kind of an intriguing part in this. Like, a layer that is interesting.
That's an important question that we should really address here before we've listened to the podcast and know all the sort of terrible details. Because I'm thinking through, like, I'm kind of going through the checkbox of all my cousins. My cousins are wonderful people.
I said not my family members.
Okay. I'm trying to think, like, which of my cousins is most likely to do something like this. And I can think of maybe
which of my cousins is most likely to hire a hitman?
I don't know if any of my cousins listen to this podcast. Let's find out. I can definitely think of a cousin of mine. If that cousin is listening, I want them to reach out if they think they know who they are.
I don't think any of my cousins are listening. But also, I can't imagine any of them. I don't have that many cousins, but I can't imagine them.
How do you not
being
have that many
involved in this.
cousins? You're Irish. You have 5 brothers. Don't your
4.
parents? How many siblings do your parents have?
4 brothers.
Right, there's 5 of you.
My dad has 1 brother. He had 2 kids. 1 passed away. So there's 1 cousin there. And then on the other side, there's...
Wait, your dad is 1 of 2?
Yeah.
And what about your mom?
She's 3 brothers.
Okay.
So then there's 2 kids. There's 5 of us, plus 2, plus 4, plus 4. That's not that many cousins.
It's not that many, really. I expected more. Okay.
I feel like that's a real, like, stereotype as well. Like, the Irish, they just don't stop breeding.
You're the youngest of 5. And you were born in the 80s. I just presume the generation before you, that what we've talked about contraception in Ireland.
Oh, well, that's true, yeah. No,
and they're all Catholic.
I'm just lagging, like, that's, yeah, it's very, I mean, I do that.
All right, Dee, what's your excitement level for this one? Is it pretty high?
You know what? I've been taking a little bit of a sabbatical from true crime podcasts.
Sure, yeah.
And then I read about this when you sent it to me, and I was like, oh my God, when can we record? I really want to listen. It just sounds like a perfect kind of an entryway into true crime in a way, because as I said, it seems like nobody gets murdered. Like, it's not an ideal situation.
Sure.
But
yeah.
It feels like there's going to be a little bit of funny, like, family drama you can connect with, plus a bit of crime. So I'm excited. I've kind of missed it, and I'm ready to go. What about you?
I think this is going to be fascinating. I think this is going to be that mix of, like, what's the word? Sordid? Tawdry? But also, I mean, I feel like our host is very sort of high-minded, literary, intellectual. I feel like it's gonna like bridge those worlds in a fascinating way. Yeah, I'm pretty curious about this one. I'm eager to listen to it. It's also like, I don't know. I feel like this host is someone who has totally not been on my radar, but like now that I know who they are, I'm like, oh, I want to go read their books. Like they sound super interesting.
I'd also wonder with the connection to This American Life when we hear them speak. Actually, you heard them on This American Life. You were saying
A little bit. I listened to a little bit of it.
I wonder if we're gonna recognize their voice.
I didn't. Yeah, their voice did not sound familiar to me at all. But I also listen and don't remember things. So, Are we ready? Should we go off and listen to this and come back and talk about it?
Let's do it. I'm so excited. Bye.
Before we go, just a quick note. If you enjoyed this Time Machine episode and if you're excited to listen to our recap of The Idiot, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. What did you think of our trivia? Did you know the answers? Shout them out in the comments. Also, while you're there, be sure to leave us a rating. We really appreciate it. It helps other people find the show. If you're on Apple, if you're on Spotify, wherever you're listening, give us a 5-star rating. And then when you go out in the world, tell a friend about this. Tell a friend, hey, I heard this awesome Time Machine episode of this great show, and I can't wait to hear more, and you should listen too. We appreciate that as well. Thank you.
Bye. So Much Crime, So Little Time is a production of MimeGov Media. The executive producer is Paxton Calariso. Our associate producer is Blythe Ty. Theme music was composed by Vyacheslav Starostin. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to this show in your podcast app. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating and a review. Even better, tell your friends. To join the discussion, look for us on social media. Check out the show notes for all the links. Thanks for listening.